And I think we will start with Joy. Is that right, Juan? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Buenas tardes. May I share my screen? Is that okay?
Yes.
So my name is Joy Lowenworth. I work with Bloomberg for Education, and I'm very excited to be here today to help you all launch this challenge. As you all know, over the past few months, there has been a massive surge in interest in ESG, both on the Bloomberg terminal and in the markets. And as we've seen reflected across the media, it is certainly an exciting time to hold an ESG research challenge. As you know, today's students are viewing companies through a broader lens than the bottom lines. They value how a company demonstrates its relationship to the world. And Bloomberg is rapidly expanding its offerings in the ESG space. So on August 11th, we announced the launch of our proprietary ESG scoring system. These include environmental and social scores for 252 companies in the oil and gas sector, and board composition scores for more than 4,300 companies across multiple industries. If you are interested in learning more about this, I encourage you to check out BIES Score Go on your terminals. Two particularly timely market trends and events that have been coming up are pandemic bonds and proxy voting. So what do these mean, and how do these matter to our clients, and how can we learn more about this stuff on the terminal? Pandemic bonds are essentially debt that's tied to catastrophic events, which are designed to raise money for issuers if natural disasters occur. The World Bank offers investors high interest payments in return for taking on the risk of losing a certain amount or all of their money if pandemics like COVID occur. So investors buy these because they offer a much higher yield than other bonds and are linked to disaster instead of the stock market. So that gives you this added benefit of diversification. However, the prices of these bonds have plunged since the pandemic began, and money from these bonds is going towards pandemic relief. This is leaving investors fleeing to less risky assets like treasury bonds as the number of confirmed cases rise in fear of losing the total amount of principal, which could happen if a set of triggers such as outbreak size, growth rate, and spread across borders is met. So how do pandemic bonds affect the market today? So the World Bank has confirmed market expectations that the COVID-19 outbreak triggered the pandemic catastrophic bonds issued by the Pandemic Emergency Financing Facility, PEF, in order to diminish the drastic impact of the pandemic. With this, the issuance of social bonds is on the rise, which you can see here. So when COVID came, investors wanted to issue social bonds to enable them to fund projects to respond to the COVID-19 crisis. Bank of America was the first on Wall Street to issue a pandemic bond and has now raised over $8 million in ESG related bonds. ESG is not just a bull market luxury, it is a bear market necessity, says Karen Fang, the global head of Bank of America Sustainability. The pandemic is pushing the social bond market to reach unprecedented levels, and HSBC analysts claim social bond issuance is poised to double this year to a record level. So growth in 2020 continues to speed up with $11.1 billion issued in May, up nearly 40% from April 2020 and over 500% from May 2019. So how do we learn more about this on the Bloomberg terminal and in the news? Here are some places you may want to go. You can learn more about the fears surrounding pandemic bonds. You can read about the rise of social bonds on our BNEF functionality. You can learn about the growth in social and sustainable issuance by BI as well. So looking forward, what is proxy voting? So simply put, proxy voting allows company shareholders to vote on key proposals and issues without having to attend a company's annual general meeting in person. So AGM, annual general meeting. So why is this relevant to ESG? Matters voted on in this AGM often pertain to governance and compensation. So this is where shareholders can vote to ensure that the company is governed transparently and properly. Furthermore, issues voted on can relate to the environmental and social aspects of ESG. For example, for Amazon's annual meeting, food waste was a topic that was up for debate. Proxy voting is a direct way funds and shareholders can engage with management to have a more direct impact on corporate policies that align with ESG. So here are some ways that you can explore proxy voting on the terminal. I also encourage you all to subscribe to NIESG Daily for the latest ESG news briefings and to stay on top of ESG current events. Under the Actions tab in red over here, you can select a button called Set Alert Delivery. And we at Bloomberg for Education are happy to partner with you all to create a wonderful learning experience. And we hope you get a lot out of this research challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for this amazing presentation about possibilities of ESG in the terminal, Bloomberg and Bloomberg terminal. So now is going to lead these comments, Professor Zakarakis from Babson College.
Buenas tardes, everybody. Welcome from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm at Babson College, and just a little bit about Babson for those of you who don't know us. Babson was founded by Roger Babson about 100 years ago. And Roger Babson always used to say the world as a whole benefits most when you do something new or when you do something better or differently. And if you think about that, that is a definition of entrepreneurship. Doing something new, doing something better, doing something differently. And over the years, over the last 100 years or so, Babson has continually been recognized as the #1 university for teaching entrepreneurship at both the undergraduate and graduate level by magazines like Financial Times, the Princeton Review, Entrepreneur, and U.S. News and World Report has, ever since they started ranking entrepreneurship, has ranked Babson #1. And so that's over 25 years and going strong. Now, I often think about entrepreneurship as focusing on opportunity. And now that we're in these tough times and there's a recession around most of the world, my students often ask, well, what should I do now? And I go, this is always the best time to start a business. Because when you look at businesses that were started during recessions, they often are world-changing businesses. Going all the way back to the 1880s when it was the founding of IBM, Microsoft was founded in 1975, Disney was founded in 1929 in the depth of the Great Depression. MTV was founded in 1981. And more recently, we've had Netflix founded in 1997, Airbnb founded in 2008, and Warby Parker founded in 2010. So entrepreneurship can thrive in down times. You just have to go out and find that opportunity. And so as you enter your ESG challenge, my words to you are to go find that opportunity and focus on finding that next world-changing business. So thank you and have a lot of fun this evening, and I wish you all good luck.
Thank you very much, Professor Zakarakis. It was an honor to have you here and hear your words to motivate our students to be entrepreneurs, responsible and conscious about society and the firm. Okay, thank you, Zach. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Now we are going to lead comments to Mr. Bengoechea Inigo. He is the Director of Government and Regulatory Relations at CFA Institute, USA.
Thank you, Juan. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks everybody, and congratulations on launching this ESG investment challenge. I guess just share a couple of perspectives from CFA Institute. In case of those of you who do not know us, we're a global association of investment professionals, and we have more than 170,000 members in more than 165 countries around the world. We're most known by the CFA designation, the Chartered Financial Analyst, and we have been very active on ESG. We've been tracking the issue. Our position on ESG is that we require our members to look at all the material factors when they do analyze a security, and ESG is part of that materiality. It's a material factor, it's material information that you must incorporate in your analysis. It's no longer something that you can ignore to conduct a proper analysis. And just, share with you a couple of industry perspectives, because we've been conducting a series of roundtables across the region in Latin America with governments and firms. And on the topic of ESG specifically, well, ESG, many of the participants thought that is for the long term. You cannot expect an investment, ESG related investment, to give you a quick return or a massive return overnight. It is a long-term investment. So that's some of the things that came out. In terms of COVID-19 and the pandemic, it looks like it will accelerate the embracement of ESG, the ESG agenda. And before the pandemic, sort of the E and the G, the environment and governance, were taking the most attention. But it seems that social is going to now take the lead going forward, as Joy was referencing. In terms of the agenda for governments and firms, we see private companies continuing to push for ESG, while governments are having to deal with the effects of the economic recession we're all experiencing. So make that distinction. We want to make that distinction between private companies who are still very much invested on ESG and advancing ESG, and governments having to not be able to pay that much attention to it as they look for a recovery. And in terms of other news at CFA Institute I can share with you, we do have an ESG certificate that is offered by CFA Society UK. Look for that in case you want to learn more about ESG and how to apply it, how to integrate it in your investment analysis. And we've also come out with an ESG standard consultation, which was published, I think, last week. And it looks to, we're looking to develop a standard on ESG disclosure for investment products. There's a lot of products out there, and investors are a little bit confused as to what is ESG, what are the disclosures needed in order to compare ESG investments. So we're looking to address that through this standard, and look forward to seeing something in the news shortly once we go through the consultation, gather the feedback, and then publish a standard. If you wish to participate in the consultation, please check our website. I'm going to post the link on the chat and some of our ESG materials as well. If you want to take a look at them. But very pleased again to be here, and thank you, Juan Antonio.
It was a pleasure to have you here, Inigo. It's really an honor to have you, Professor Sakarakis, Joy, Inigo. And now we are going to start with the workshop. Okay. Okay. Well, this is the agenda for the workshop today, and I'm going to present the Research Challenge Trainer, the ESG Challenge Trainer. We are three Bloomberg Lab heads from three universities from Peru, Colombia, and Argentina. And we are going to talk about how to analyze ESG indicators with a Bloomberg terminal. It's our workflow of data in order to analyze a firm and review of ESG investment challenge material. We developed a case study with Melissa and Kevin, are members and founders of the Finance Investment Club, USIL, related to the administration and corporate finance career. And the deliverables, what you have to present to participate in the contest, and the schedule. So I'm going to focus in the workflow with Bloomberg, but previously I want to know a little more about the audience. So Melissa is going to send you by chat poll. So you have to answer some question in order to see it by graphs. Okay, so Melissa, please share with us the poll.
Okay, yes. Give me a moment, please. And can I share the screen so that we can see what people are voting on?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Okay, so I'm leaving on the chat. The website is slido.com and the code is 22850. I'm going to write it on here. 22. Okay. I think we are going to wait 5 minutes or 2 until people are joining the poll. I'm going to activate the first question. Kevin, can you help me with the first one?
Hi, Melissa, and hello to everyone. For me, it's a pleasure being here. So I want to say thank you to Professor Lillo and also to our special guest. I'm the president of the Finance and Investment Club. With Melissa, we co-founded the club. We currently are more than 100 members, which they are students and also professors. So we were working during the last semester really hard on many projects. And today we are happy to be here with you. And well, we prepared a couple of questions to know more about you. So we invite you to participate on this little questionnaire and just to participate. Okay, yes, the first question is, do you think companies must address environmental and social issues and at the same time make profits from this perspective? As we can see, most of you are saying that yes, I agree. Okay, there is just 15% who says it depends on the industry, and 2% that says no, I think companies must only focus on profits. So at the end of the workshop, maybe our panelists, our guest speakers can talk more about these issues.
Okay, so I think the results are very clear. Most of the participants think it's important to address these issues, and just 2% thinks, okay, now it's 0%, but 16% think it depends on the industry. We want it to be an interactive poll, so I don't know if anyone wants to participate and tell us why they think either that yes, they agree, or that they think it depends on the industry.
Yes, the objective is to make interactive. So
Anna
yes,
has to raise.
Okay, Anna wants to talk. Professor, I think they don't have the permission to talk. Can we give them the...
Okay. Okay, now, go on.
Hello. Hello, my name is Ana Rosales. It's a pleasure being here. I'm a student from San Ignacio University. What I think about this is that I agree because of a certain thing. Right now, we're living in a competitive world, in a world that is also full of problems, right? And let's be clear, people is incentivized and industries are incentivized by income, by introducing income as a feature to create more interested and look in what is environmental and social change. I think that not only individuals, but companies as a whole will start promoting what is an eco-friendly activity. That's what I think. That's why I agree. Well, if you can see right now, one of the major characteristics of successful kind of companies right now is an eco-friendly approach. Not only people and customers are more interested in actually investing in something that supports the environment, but also industries see that by promoting the eco-friendly production, they're able to to also lower costs and increase demand. That's what I think, that it doesn't depend on the industry, because the industries can adapt their production to an eco-friendly approach in either other way, from the marketing part of the company to the production side of the company, to either create interest from customers, to actually promote more, I don't know, for example, cheaper cost of production. That's why I think that I agree that the social and the environmental kind of approach to support the ecosystem or either support social change, it has to come with income for companies and also benefits for the same customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for your answer. Yes, you're right. So if someone wants to say,
Yeah, I wanna say
Okay.
something. I'm
Yeah,
Sebastian
go ahead,
Gallo.
please.
I'm from the USIL. I'm from Paraguay, and I actually agree that the business can have an improvement with environmental and social issues. But I think it depends on the industry. It's more independent of the culture of the country, you know. For example, we are talking about right now in Paraguay, we have an issues with the Pink Lagoon. Like it's really, really deep in trash. Like it's really contaminated. We need like the publication of a famous person like Leonardo DiCaprio in Instagram to do something about that. The industry here in my country, for example, doesn't care too much about the environmental associations. Why? Because the culture. If we are going to talk about like, yeah, we need to do something about this. The culture here, for example, in my country, talking about myself, my country, is not too important, you know. Like the people doesn't care too much about it. They just care about the power. They just care about the money. And I think I am agree with that, but I think it's kind of difficult because that, you know, it's kind of difficult cause the culture of the people.
Yeah, I think you're right, but that doesn't mean it isn't important. That means that we, as the future generation, have to take interest in these matters and promote this to let that this cannot happen. So maybe we should go on to the next question.
Yes, I just want to say that it's important to know that there is no good or bad questions. We just want to hear you and to know your opinions. The next question is good environmental, social, and governance indicators would translate in higher profits for the company. Okay, so we have also three different answers. We have like 175 participants, and I think that we have only 34 answers. Melissa, let me know if I'm right, but
Yeah, we have 41 answers so far.
okay, so there are a lot of people. If you have any convenient with the link of to enter the Slido or the code, please let us know on the chat so we can help you. We want you to participate, so come on, guys. And if you want also to express your opinions, raise your hand, and we'll give you the option to speak.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the majority thinks that not necessarily ESG indicators must be analyzed along with other indicators. And the second most voted answer is the second one. Yes, the higher is the rating of ESG, the higher will be the earnings. And 11% thinks no, it only measures the performance of good practices, but it does not mean that the company will be more profitable. Who wants to participate on this one?
Yes, there is Sebastián Vallejo. He's one of us, one of our members from the FI Club. So Sebastián, please go ahead. Hello, Sebastián.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, come on, I hear you.
Yes, I would like to add that
I think we are having some problems with the microphone. So maybe we can go to another participant.
Yeah, Anna wants to participate again, so I think.
Hello again.
Hi.
So, well, basically, what I think is that good economic performance and good profit performance is directly linked to good environmental social governance indicators. It definitely means higher profits for the company. Why? Not only for the promotion of a more responsible kind of company, but also when companies are related to the ESG, they're also more responsible about their risk and about the management of the resources. So by managing better the resources, right, they're able to provide more monetary resources to the investment of their growing, which means more capital, right? That's what I think, that it's extremely directed and extremely correlated with higher profits. The more management, the more risk management there are, it avoids more loss of money. That's what I think.
Wonderful, Anna. I think you're ready for the challenge. Yes.
Well, hopefully I am.
Yes, you are.
So we can go on with the next question.
See it. Yes, the last question.
Yes, the last one.
Okay, so it's, as a young student and future professional, I'm willing to work with ESG and we have here 3 different sectors: the financial sector, the private sector, and the public sector. So here we are.
Okay, so I think the response is clear again. The majority in the private sector, as we are a business and entrepreneur university. I don't know if anyone wants to give a last insight about this question before we go on to the next one. Okay, so Anna.
I'm super active.
Yeah, we
I'm
love
super
it. Go on.
into the subject. Well, what I think is that I will be on both sides. Why? First, I will invest, or I will, support the private sector, because I think that in most of the profitable economies in the world are supported by a strong and a free private sector, okay? After that, I think that at some point when we create profit, we need investors that actually, it's like a chain, okay? Once you get enough profit to actually be an investor, you can also support small companies. Small companies mean, for example, in a country like this, more than the 40% of the profit of the national profit. Okay, basically, COVID-19 brought a lot of consequences because of the lack of strength of small companies. So at first, I will support 100% private sector to eventually be an investor and support small companies. Thank you.
Melissa, maybe you're not agree, but I'm more curious about the people who say public sector. If there is anyone who wants to talk about why is willing to work with ESGs in the public sector and how, because I'm really curious about that. Anyone?
Yeah, that will be very interesting. So if anyone wants to add something on that, we are willing to hear it. Okay, so on the chat, Sebastian Vallejos wrote that he wants to say something, but I think he isn't allowed to. So
Yes,
maybe
it was in the previous question. So
oh,
I
okay.
think we can leave on here
Yeah.
not take too much time. So thank you, Professor, and thank you to
thank you for participating, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And that's the goal of this experience of the research challenge, that we can co-create professors, students, and professionals and innovative new financial education strategies. Now I'm going to continue with the ESG indicators, and I'm going to ask for help to Melissa that could help us with the translation of the challenge trainers. This contest, there is going to have materials in English and in Spanish, so the goal is that everybody can participate. Everyone can participate. So we are the trainers. We are the responsible of the financial labs in our universities, USIL, UADE, and EAN. Now I'm going to present the how to analyze ESG indicators in a Bloomberg terminal. Well, this is a print screen of a company, UNASEM, from Peru. And the question is how you can analyze with these indicators the best performance in the sector of environmental. So we have here that compared to its peers is in a better position, and then some indicators and numbers here, okay? And below this print screen, there is the command line to look up for this on the Bloomberg terminal. So we have this in also at the terminal. I'm going to show you now. So we just type in the terminal UNASEM. Okay, we find the company, and then we type ESG, and we have the information. So the trainers, professor trainers, are going to give support to the students that participate in this challenge in order to explain the functionality of Bloomberg and how to analyze the fundamentals of ESG. Then the other thing is how to analyze the relative valuation from this company in terms of ESG. So I write in the command line relative valuation, and then I can compare it from the ESG indicators. Okay, so that's it. I found here in its ESG, and then I can compare Unión Andina de Cementos with other competitors as Cemex, the biggest company of concrete in the region. Another thing that we can do in Bloomberg is to type VIESG, okay, and we are going to the ranking, okay. So we just look here for ranking, and then we can find the pillar score of ESG in different in the industries, okay? And that's the same for this. And the materials that we have for this challenge have been developed with Melissa and Kevin. Is the case study I'm going to show you here right now. Okay, this is the document, okay, from a case, how to improve your investment performance and ethics of the ESG. And we have here, this is analysis from the sustainability report of the company. And then we have the case questions, okay, just 4 that you have to choose 3 of them and analyze what I have shown you before, okay, the metrics, and then there is the workflow here in order to analyze these indexes. And other thing that's important is that you can download from Bloomberg this information. So we click in export, and then we can go to Excel and have this information to analyze it. Okay, so that's what I have to share with you. Okay, this is it. And then about the rules. So I'm going to give the word to Professor Karina Diaz from UADE Argentina, that is going to join us with Melissa in the...
Yo pienso esto, y lo vamos anotando. Pero llega un momento en que ya el moderador va a decir, ya un ratito, ya tenemos bastante. Ya, vamos a ver cuál es más importante. Entonces le damos prioridad.
Okay. Okay, now, Professor Karina Díaz.
A ver, sí, Juan, porque se juntaron varias voces ahí.
Okay.
Bueno, bárbaro. Bueno, nosotros cómo vamos a continuar para cada uno de los equipos que van a participar de este challenge con indicadores ESG. Como decía el profesor anteriormente, todo el flujo de trabajo que provee Bloomberg va a ser el input necesario para que los estudiantes puedan arribar a los resultados. Lo importante, no sé si Melissa, ¿me vas acompañando?
Yes. Sí.
Perfecto. Estaba haciendo...
Karina is saying that the workflow with the Bloomberg terminal is going to be an important input so that the participants of this challenge can search the information on ESG indicators.
Bien, dentro de esta competencia, dentro de este challenge, el desafío de cada uno de los grupos es determinar cualidades, es decir, cuáles fueron los aspectos positivos y los aspectos negativos que arrojaron cada uno de estos indicadores.
In this competition, the challenge is to search for qualities. She says to search for positive and negative qualification of these businesses and to see how they have performed on ESG indicators.
Y esto complementado con la situación competitiva de sus pares, es decir, nosotros estamos en los 3 países trabajando 3 empresas que tienen industrias que son altamente contaminantes. Cuando nosotros descubramos cómo es el comportamiento de cada una de estas empresas en cada uno de los indicadores, vamos a poder establecer comparativos.
And this analysis is going to be as well with the peers of these companies. It is going to be analyzed in the 3 countries, Argentina, Colombia, and Peru, on 3 industries that are very highly contaminating. And this is how we're going to mitigate the impact on these companies.
Bien, si querés, Juan, anticipo un poco también cuáles serían estos aspectos en cada uno de los indicadores que los equipos tienen que analizar. Es decir, en el segmento ambiental, social y de gobierno corporativo.
She is going to explain how we are going to measure these indicators in environmental, social, and governmental aspects.
Bien. La particularidad la tiene cada una de las empresas de cada uno de los 3 países. esa particularidad va a ser sesgada en uno de los tres segmentos. Por ejemplo, alguna de las empresas va a tener un mejor o peor desempeño en el aspecto social, o en el aspecto ambiental, o en el aspecto de gobierno corporativo. No necesariamente vamos a encontrar puntos de coincidencia.
Some companies are going to perform best on the environmental aspect, some of the governmental aspect, and some ones in the social aspect. And they do not necessarily have to be the best at the same aspect. And we are going to see how they are going to perform and to analyze that.
Bien. Y finalmente, de mi parte, lo más importante en este challenge, todos van a tener algo en común, que es responder problemáticas desde el punto de vista de cada una de las empresas. Pero lo más importante es el valor agregado que van a incorporar cada uno de los estudiantes, porque son nuestros futuros profesionales que van a estar trabajando en un mundo que se supone que tienda a ser más verde.
The most important thing on this challenge is the added value that every student has to put in, as we are the future of a greener world.
Bien, le cedo la palabra a mi colega William.
Muchas gracias, Karina. Un gusto
¿Cómo está?
Estar acá colaborando. En atención a lo mencionado y en línea con lo que se ha comentado, también queremos mostrarles en relación al challenge, cuáles son las reglas generales. Como han mostrado mis colegas, es un ejercicio de aproximarnos al uso de la plataforma. Lisa?
Yes, so what he is saying is that he's going to talk a little bit about the rules of this challenge, and that the main objective of this activity is that we learn how to use the Bloomberg platform on the ESG aspects.
En ese sentido, como mencionaba Karina, mi colega, deben profundizar en la pertinencia de los indicadores en su informe. Vamos a tener grupos de trabajo de 3 a 5 miembros por equipo.
In this sense, it is important to explain each aspect of the ESG indicators, and the work teams are going to be performed from 3 to 5 students.
Los equipos pueden constar de estudiantes de pregrado o de posgrado. Y cada universidad analizará la compañía local respectiva. Se tendrán 3 finalistas de cada universidad.
Each group can be performed either by undergraduate students or postgraduate students. And ¿puede repetir lo último de nuevo, por favor?
Cada institución tendrá 3 equipos finalistas.
Okay, so each institution will have 3 finalists.
Y cada institución, UADE, USIL, Universidades, va a tener un equipo ganador.
And each university will have a winner.
Y el ganador será seleccionado de un grupo de expertos.
And the winner will be selected from a group of experts.
Voy a profundizar en los criterios que se tendrán en cuenta a la hora de evaluar el trabajo presentado por cada equipo.
He is going to explain which is going to be the criteria that will be taken into account for this challenge.
El primer criterio es la claridad.
So the first one is clarity.
Lenguaje estructurado y claro.
Be a structured language and it has to be clear.
Y la presentación tiene que tener una composición visual leíble, que se pueda leer.
And the presentation has to be visually attractive and it has to be easy to read.
Los números y las letras deben ser legibles, deben ser legibles.
The numbers and the letters have to be able to read.
Okay. En ese sentido, vamos al segundo criterio, el nivel de análisis y profundidad.
The second criteria is the level of analysis.
La opinión debe estar basada en datos obtenidos de la terminal Bloomberg.
So the opinion that each group has formed is going to be sustained by the data of the Bloomberg platform.
Debe demostrar buen conocimiento de la compañía asignada por país.
They have to show that they know about the company that they are going to be investigating about.
Y debe tener buenos fundamentos de el análisis que mencionaba Karina en relación a los criterios e indicadores ESG respecto a sus compañías pares.
They have to have good fundamentals about the ESG indicators and not only about the company, but compared to the other companies from the other countries as well.
Este es como el aporte. ¿Podemos profundizar en algo más, Juan? En la parte siguiente. ¿Me ayudas?
Of course, in the deliverables o los entregables.
Perfecto. Los entregables son un video en Zoom de 5 minutos en equipo.
The team will have to upload a video of 5 minutes of each one of the team members.
No, 5 minutos en equipo, o sea, los 5 minutos.
One video of the whole team. And it has to last 5 minutes.
Sí. Debe estar basado en una presentación en donde muestren sus resultados.
It has to be based on a presentation where they are going to show their results.
Y deben entregar un resumen ejecutivo del video en una página.
And they will have to write an executive summary of their work on a Word document, I think. True?
Tal cual, un documento en Word. Por último, hablemos de las fechas. Let's review the dates. No sé si Juan me puedas ayudar con la...
Of course, this is a very innovative contest. It's about to work with other point of view, with other careers, with different programs. So the selection process is going to be by an algorithm. Melissa is going to send you now a link, a Google Form link, in order you to write your data, your contact information, career, and if you want to participate in the ESG. So we are going to contact you by your email or and tell you which group are you assigned, if you can access with this algorithm to the selected teams. Okay, so the kickoff is today, August 27, the deliverables deadline, because this weekend we are going to send you the confirmation that you are registered to the challenge, and then the deliverables deadline is going to be a week afterwards, the confirmation of your participation. So you have a whole week to analyze the company with the mentors. And the Sustainability Roundtable we are organizing for September 18 is going to prize the winners. And from the winners are going to work together, the 3 winning teams as a whole, an international team, in order to develop a publication about the ESG indicators, a case study book about the ESG cases from the 3 countries, and it's going to be published, and the authors going to be these winner teams, also with the recognition of the highest authorities of the 3 universities. So it's about purpose, it's about innovation, entrepreneurship, and we want to build teams from different program and careers. So we have this algorithm, so we are going to let you know, okay? And I think we can go with the closing, and thanks for our representative of UADE and U.EAN.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here. This is a very exciting challenge. I can't wait to see, like the teams and, all the results. And I want to see who's the winner. Okay, this is a very innovative challenge. And this is something very interesting because the students will be able to learn how to work with new indicators that will help them get better jobs and be able to work in international companies using these new indicators. So once again, on behalf of the international network compounded by UADE Argentina, Universidad EAN Colombia, and Universidad San Ignacio de Loyola, Peru, we want to thank everybody for being here, all of the professors from our 3 universities, and the special guests, the people from Bloomberg, the representative of CFA, and the person from Babson University. We're really happy that you could join us for this kickoff event. And I want to actually tell the students to join this great contest. And any doubts, please, you can contact your tutors at each university. And well, of course, the contest is already open. And well, as Professor Dilo said, you will be receiving the results, of the registration this weekend. Good luck for everybody, and well, good night.
Okay, so we have maybe a representative of UAN University that want to give some words of thankful words and closing, maybe.
Yes, I think we. There's nobody from.
No problem. I can.
Yes, William.
Oh, Sarah is
William.
no problem. Well, I wanted to thank you again for this participation, because for me, it's an honor to collaborate with USIL and UADE in this beautiful, I can tell, beautiful initiative to interact more with finance, to get a better access to finance to all of you, our students from all of our sister universities. The main idea of this contest, as my colleagues presented, is to interact, to see really how these indicators in terms of environmental, social, and governance impact our companies. The companies selected for this challenge are one of the most relevant companies in terms of a specific aspect of our economy. Yes. So as Latin Americans, I think this is a beautiful opportunity to integrate each other and to see a strong emphasis on how you can go beyond profits. You can go beyond profits, and you can enter into a realm of socially and environmentally investment. So that's the main idea here. I wanted to thank the people that is currently seeing this webinar, this workshop that was held by our colleagues from USIL, that I wanted to give my appreciation and my congratulations for putting together this event. So that's my contribution, and I hope you have a very, very good work and hard work in order to obtain the best results. Good luck with everyone.
Okay, before we finish, I want you to register in this link, this Google form, in order to have your information and data and confirm your participation to that research challenge. And we have to take a team picture, a group picture. So this is going to be coordinated by Jose Paredes from USIL.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if everybody can put on your video for a group picture, please, at the end of this event. I will appreciate if you can put on your video, please. Okay, let me confirm. Professor Lilo, could you stop to share your screen, please?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. We are ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Yes. Perfect. Please, I don't know if everybody can turn on his your video, please, for a group picture. Thank you. One, two, and three. One more, please. One, two, and three. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose Carlos.